Hey, Elaine Williams here, and I wanted to wish you a happy Monday. And I am making this video for you to give you a little boost on your Monday. Have it be a little magnetizing and motivational, hopefully. I just want to share a couple of quick tips. So it's Sunday night, and I just got home from doing a comedy show benefit for a charity called youre. I personally have known 3 families that have had Lyme, and it really can be devastating, and it's really hard to detect. So awesome cause. And that's one of the points I wanted to talk about. I love giving back. Even though I grew up in the arts and I grew up performing, I always hung out with the tech people when I was doing theater because I didn't want to be one of those actors that was like, but enough about me, what do you think about me? And so I've always tried to not be like that. So I've always given back, and I think it's so important. And so whether you're new at speaking or you've been doing it for a while, hopefully you give service and you give back. And if you don't, it's a really great habit. It's good for your heart, for your soul. It's just amazing. It is such an amazing feeling when you have people coming up to you after you get off the stage and they're hugging you and thanking you and telling you how you made them feel so good, or laugh or cry, or they were moved. And it's an amazing feeling. And yes, you know what? I have to be honest. I love to give because it also helps me feel good about myself. So, I do have an ulterior motive, and I believe in karma, and I just think it's good to give. So that was one of my first things that just, wherever you are in your career as a speaker, coach, entrepreneur, maybe you're just starting out, maybe you're just coming back, wherever you are, give. It is fun. It comes back to you tenfold, and it's awesome. We had such a fun show tonight. It was all female comedians, and we had like a killer show. I had tons of friends come out, so that was fun. The place was standing room only, and we just had a great show. Which brings me to my second point is I got to work with Tracy Locke, and she and I started out together. I think she started in comedy a little bit before I did, and she's gotten to be the warm-up for a lot of TV shows, which is a really awesome and challenging gig as a comedian because you have to warm up the crowd when they're all like sleepy or tired, and you have to get them going for when they're taping. And so the last warm-up she did was for Harry Connick Jr. Anyway, she was awesome. Usually I get to headline when I'm at this place, Tierneys, but I had asked if I could go on earlier because some of my friends, it's hard for them to stay through the end of the show because a lot of them have, day jobs in the city or kids, and, it's hard to go to a show that goes till 10:30 if you have to get up at 5. So anyway, she was a headliner, and she just rocked it. And it was so much fun to see her accents and how she handled the crowd, because the crowd had gotten really rowdy. And, it's so funny because there's like this fine line. Like you want the crowd to be awake and aware and with you, but you don't want them to try to take over. And there was one guy who kept trying to take over, and I felt like we all dealt with him in our own way without being mean or too cutting. And I was curious how she was going to deal with him. And when she went up, she got his name. She, tried to be friends with him. She, that's one of the best ways you can deal with a heckler. But it was just great to watch her. It was so, I feel like you can always learn. And that's one thing I also love about speaking is wherever you are, there's always another level to get to. And you can always learn from each other. We were sitting in the back of the club, and, just sharing ideas and bouncing things off of each other. And I just love that spirit of generosity and showmanship, and like we're all in this together. So I just was, kind of like high from a really amazing night, and I wanted to share my experience and a couple of key points to think about when you are thinking about your speaking or even going on video. And that was the third point. Okay. Sorry, it's been a lot. I've been like going since like 7 o'clock this morning. My third point is things are not always linear. Let me explain. So I used to go to quite a few open mics during the week and try to get up and then, of course, do shows as much as possible. I used to drive to Connecticut to do 5 minutes of stage time because that's how committed I was to my craft. And I knew I needed to get better. And it was a great show. And I got to be with pros. And I would, it was tired. Like in the city, sometimes you can hit a bunch of different shows or mics, but sometimes you only have really short sets. And so when you go out of New York City or LA, you get longer time on stage. So anyway, so I used to just go out. I would drive forever just to have, 5 or 10 minutes. I would run into the city. I was, you're just trying to get stage time to get better and better and better. And I've done tours, and I don't need to go into the whole thing, but nowadays I'm focusing more on my coaching business and helping other speakers for lots of reasons. And I love it. I love what I do. I love working with my students and my clients. I love to see people grow and blossom. And I still love to do comedy. I love it. It's like the most delicious, amazing thing when you have a whole room of people with you, laughing at the insanity of life and humanity, and that deep down we're all the same underneath our different colored whatever. That's my opinion. And so I have not been going out and doing comedy 2 or 3 or 4 times a week like I used to. I have been really immersed in teaching my classes and working on my clients, and I go shoot videos with them. I've been doing a lot of different workshops all around the country. So my focus has changed, and I was a little bit nervous. I'm a big fan of preparation and warming up, and here I had only been on stage as a comedian just a little bit. And I knew that this was a big benefit, and I knew that there were going to be a lot of people there. And so, I went Wednesday and I worked out some stuff. And anyway, I had a killer set. I'm really proud. I had a really fun set. I tried new stuff. I did old stuff. I did stuff out of order. I wrote a couple of things on stage, that's when you're like in the zone. And I'm not telling you this to toot my own horn. What I'm trying to say is things aren't always linear. Sometimes you work at something, and sometimes it's good to take a little bit of a break or try a slightly different approach. And I think that stage time, screen time can add up. Meaning, even though I haven't been doing stand-up comedy per se as much on a daily or weekly basis, I still do video often. I am speaking to big crowds and smaller crowds often. So I'm still on stage. It's just slightly different from how I used to approach comedy all the time. And so I wanted to share that with you because what I like to think is that all roads lead to your highest potential. It's all part of your journey. It's all part of your cool experience. I know for years I was spread way too thin. I was a corporate trainer. I had real estate. I was running. I was constantly, and it's hard to feel like you're making progress when you're in 53 different projects. And at the same time, I know that all of those experiences have given me great life experience. And I know that I can coach people in whole new ways. And I know that lessons that I learned perhaps as a restaurant trainer actually really do serve me when I go train with other people in other areas. So wherever you are, I just want you to trust that I bet you're learning what you need to be learning. And if you're not, well, you should work with me. But that is part of the journey. And I wanted to share that because I think it's easy to focus on, oh God, I didn't get up this week, or I only got up once on stage, or, oh, I haven't worked on this in a while. And it's so easy to focus on what we haven't done. And I think it's so important to celebrate what we have done and what we have accomplished and what we are working on, and that there is progress being made. It's not about being perfect. It's about imperfect action. It's not about, I'll be happy when. No, it's about the journey. And I know, you may be like, shut up. Like, that used to make me crazy. It's all about the journey, Elaine. It's all about the process. But it's kind of true. And here's the thing, like, I'm not trying to brag like I had the best set ever. And, like, I'm always, whenever I get off stage, I write notes and I'm like, what am I proud of? What really worked? And then what can I do better? Or like, ooh, I didn't set this joke up right. Or, you know what? I let the loud drunk guy throw me here. I think for me, it helps me process. And that's what I make my clients do too, because it helps integrate it into your body when you're hand writing it. I know this is my Palm Pilot. I had a bunch of things I wanted to try. So my point is, even though I wasn't doing what I used to do to prepare, I'm doing new and different things, and I think they're also helping me prepare. And I still work out and meditate and run my set and things like that. But if I had been focused on, oh my God, I only got up once, and I could have gone there, but I just kept thinking, do work with what you have, and you've been doing all these other things. And anyway, it was an awesome, awesome show. And so I invite you to take that into your week this week. Can you celebrate your wins? Can you celebrate what you have accomplished, what you are up to? And who can you learn and watch from? It was so amazing getting to watch Tracy. I had a good set. She had a killer set. And she really met them where they were. And, sometimes a rowdy crowd, you feel like you're trying to like wrestle a bucking bronco while you're on a bucking bronco. And she did it. She handled it with grace and ease and love. There was no meanness. And I love it when you can handle rowdy and hecklers with love. That's so great. So just a quick recap: give back, be of service, give to a charity, work with a charity, do something. It's just so great to be bigger than yourself, and keep working on connecting with people. Not that you have to turn into a stand-up comedian, but there is something so magical when you have people coming up and hugging or crying or thanking you. Like, you touched them. They felt you and you felt them. It's like this human connection that we're all so dying to get. And I believe that you can get it through video too. That's my hope for you. That whatever way you want to go, speaking live, speaking on video, or both, that you can do that too. Because it is magic. And the third point is, not everything is linear. So trust your process. And, I had a different approach, and it was awesome. And, sometimes you try things and they don't work, but you can always learn from them. So anyway, I hope that you are having a fabulous Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. We're wrapping up the end of the summer, which is always a little bittersweet for a lot of us. And I hope to see you on the screen too. And if you do not have my Instant Connection Blueprint, which is a great way to create instant rapport with any audience fast on podcasts, when you're speaking live, when you're speaking virtually, you should grab it. It's about creating a special quick anecdote that the audience can relate to you and shares your humanity, and it gets a chuckle without having to tell a whole joke, which can be so scary. So comment below and I will send this to you. Instant Connection Blueprint. I figure you already have it, but just in case you don't, just let me know and I'll get that to you.